Episode number 17 of Making the Case. Success is not just about money. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back once again to the Making the Case, my YouTube show. All right. Episode number 17. We are winding down season number 1 of the Making the Case. All right. Hey, for those of you new to the channel, welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom, educator, author, entrepreneur, speaker, father, historian, right? Oh, today I have a very special episode. I say that often, but I think the what should I say? I think the topics, the questions for the shows, like I put thought into them. Some of them come random to me. Some of them I really be kind of getting ideas from other things that I'm watching. So I definitely try to think of thought-provoking show ideas so that we can talk about it, discuss it. I can give you some good research behind it, and definitely make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell, like. Okay, I definitely want your feedback. If you got any topic or question ideas you want me to make the case on, please shoot them my way. All right. So for episode number 17, success is not about money. All right. Before we get into my opening statement, you already know we got to go over our 2 channel norms. All right. 1, we attack points and not people. 2, we don't do all the cussing and derogatory remarks and things of that nature because this is a professional channel. All right. So my opening statement, success is not about money. Now, when we look at social media and the media in general, we kind of get the idea that it is, right? People always are flashing money in our face. They tell men that we should be paying 100% of the bills. We tell women and men that you should get your bag. So money is always thrown down our throats when it comes to success, right? But success is way bigger than just money, right? When we talk about goal chasing, right? Going after our dreams, right? Things that we've been thinking about since we was a little kid. And when we finally reach that goal, whether or not we're making a lot of money from that. See, a lot of people don't make a lot, millions of dollars from their dream, right? A lot of people always want to be a doctor or a lawyer, right? Teacher, a police officer, a nurse, a pediatrician, right? Some of us been wanting to do that since we was young, and we achieved that goal. That is success, particularly when you can do it at a high level, right? When you can be known in your craft, in your field, right? Where you can get accolades and awards from it. That's success. The monetary part is the benefit, right? But when you really enjoy and love what you do, that's what makes you successful. All right. So we think so much about money because we're in this capitalistic society. We're in this consumerism driven world where everything is about investing, spending, saving, something to do with money, right? But at the end of the day, success can mean achieving your goals. Success will mean having beautiful, wonderful children who go on to do what they want to. See, a lot of parents feel very successful when their kids make it and do what they love to do. When their kids grow up and we have conversation with our kids and we just look at them, we marvel and we see how they grew up into a productive citizens. That's successful, right? So success is so many things other than money, right? Watching your kids take their first step, watching a child of yours or a relative or somebody that you know of who's been struggling get about the struggle and you had something to do with that, you supported them, whether that's financial or not, and you seen them grow, That's success. See, we got to talk about success as it relates to those different points and stop always talking about money. All right. So today I got three pieces of evidence that will go a little bit further of different conversations about success and what it means to different people and how it's not always about money. All right. So let's get into my first piece of evidence. All right. So there you have it. Notice that the title of the video is how do you define success, and that is very important, right? So a lot of time we allow other people to define success for us, right? But really success is a very personal journey because as I mentioned in the opening statement, like some people are battling their personal demons, right? So if you were battling a drug addiction and you overcame that, that's successful, right, to you. Somebody else might not have been battling the same demons you are, right? So success is very personal, and we often don't talk about that. But here you have a video talk about what does success means to all these different types of people from age 5 to 75. And you hear some similarities from small kids to very older gentlemen, right? So I thought that was very interesting. And that's the reason why I actually wanted to show you this video, because like it give you a very diverse perspective, age wise, race wise, culture wise, right? So they're not only giving you different perspective because of their age, they're giving you different perspectives because they come from different cultures, different races, and things of that nature. But you'll still see similarities in their answers, though, right? So success means something different for a lot of different people, okay? And it's not always about money. Yes, was money brought up? Absolutely. Everybody understands that in order to have a certain level of success, the money has to be an aspect of it. But you could be in a situation where you're not making a lot of money and still be a successful person. And we have to understand that, right? There's caveats to it. So we can't be bogged down by the whole idea of financial success, right? That's just one part of it. All right. All right. Let's get into our second piece of evidence. All right. So my second piece of evidence for why success is more than just financial is, well, is there a true measure for success? So I have an article by a platform called Lifehack. Actually never heard of this platform before. And the title of it is there a true measure of success? How to define your own? As I mentioned in the last piece of evidence, like success is very personal. No one can tell you how successful you are, how successful you should be. Now, are there levels to success? Absolutely. And of course, we know finance to play a factor, but there are other factors to how successful one person is. But like I said, it's pretty personal. So let's get into this article and see what they're talking about. All right. Success is an enchanting word. I get a little trigger happy. Success is an enchanting word. It's the magical stardust we all want to be touched by. It's a goal on its own for many. Two, a motivator, a reason to wake up every day with the drive to take on the world and have it. Notice they say goal. So I'm noticing a lot people are attributing success to goals. I would agree with that. Luckily, there is barely a shortage of advice on how you can thrive and prosper. In fact, a simple question to Google on how to be successful yields an impressive 815 million results. I bet. Why is success so popular of a notion? Because it feels good to be at the top, to see your hard work pay off, to be smiled upon by the good fate fairy. It's a high like no other. But every so often, success feels like a chimera more than a real thing. A lot like happiness. In fact, we talk, read, and write books about it, listen to wise men and women coach us on how to get there or the habits of the ultra successful. And yet, it's tantalizing feeling you are never completely satisfied with yourself because there is someone who is always more successful, richer, more popular, better looking, has more friends. Now, that's something that you just gonna have to live with, right? There's always gonna be someone who's more richer, better looking than you, and more popular. All right. That has nothing to do with your success. So, how can you ever know with certainty that you have finally made it? Is there a measure of success? Does the magnitude of your success depend on the amount of money you have in the bank, the number of friends on social media, the amount of times you have been recognized for something, your GPA score, the university you were accepted into, or perhaps how many lives you changed. I will go with that last one. The answer is that it all depends on how you define success for yourself, and how you choose to measure it. What is success really? Before we launch into exploring the above question, let's briefly review what the greats can tell us about the meaning of success. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the most common definition of success is favorable or desired outcome, the attainment of wealth, favor, or eminence. Now, they do put, Merriam-Webster put wealth in there, right? But it start off saying favorable or desired outcome that makes you successful. So that means you could be successful playing sports, right? If you win, you're successful. Or if you have a goal in mind, you achieve it, you're successful. If you have a lot of money in a lot of people's eyes, you're successful. So there are different measures or measurements, I should say. But is there more to it than fame and money? In my opinion, true success should be measured by how happy you are. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group. Success isn't how much money you have. Success is not what your position is. Success is how well you do what you do when nobody else is looking. I agree with that. And that's from a billionaire entrepreneur. The definition of success is waking up in the morning with a smile on your face, knowing it's going to be a great day. Mark Cuban, right? So these coming from very wealthy men, which of course can make that type of statement, right? I measure success by how many people love me. Warren Buffett. That's not a bad statement. It's always also nice to feel like you made a difference, inventing something, or raising kids or helping people in need. Bill Gates. So they took some famous quotes for some very rich men, right? Based on above ruminations of these truly successful people, according to society's opinion too, success starts to shape more as an internal feeling, a sense of purpose and of fulfillment rather than the pursuit of accolades from others of a large bank account. Although all these individuals are undoubtedly wealthy, notice that no one mentions having millions in the bank as a definition of success. Well, that's because they have millions in the banks. So let's not get too ahead of us. Nor things along the lines of more followers on social media, making others envious, or having an expensive lifestyle. This is not what success is or how it should be measured. How success is measured. Well, we get wealth, right? Popularity, external versus internal. So how do you feel about yourself versus how other people feel about you? Comparison. So when somebody compare you to somebody else, the flawed external measure of success. Let me go and read a little bit of that. Most of the above mentioned measure of success, the external ones, although rather omnipresent, don't quite work to give you a peace of mind that you're really at the top of your game. Just think about it. How many cases have you witnessed or read about of people who appear to have it all on the outside, and yet they are deeply unhappy, insecure, and depressed? And even more, why when we achieve success, say something that we strive for, the jittery feeling doesn't last. One reason that success is susceptible to the so-called hedonic treadmill is our tendency to adjust to events in our life rather quickly. Studies have found that when people through major events, being winning the lottery, getting a promotion, winning a prize, they report that their happiness doesn't last long after winning. They feel a temporary high, which wears off rather quickly. Well, this is just the ups and downs, and because you can never sustain happiness forever. I think we all understand this, right? As I always mention, everything is on a continuum, right? So you're going to be happy and then you're going to drop to the norm. You're going to be sad and then you're going to come back up to the norm, right? So nothing is meant to last forever. Another interesting study has found the bronze medalists are actually much happier than the silver medalists. That's interesting. Although counterintuitive at first thought, according to the research, such individuals engage in counterfactual thinking. That is, they compare against what may have been not winning a medal at all. It's all in the mind how we perceive the world to be, winning versus losing, success versus failure, beautiful versus unattractive. It's often always in the eyes of the beholder, it seems. Let's see, do I want to read? Yeah, let's. The main reason why external measures of success are flawed is that they were created by someone else. So fairing our achievements against these artificial standards means that we evaluate ourselves against a bar with someone else created for it, which I will say is kind of fair because it goes back to that comparison part they were saying, right? Well, how do we know are successful? We have to compare ourselves to somebody else, right? In basketball, the standard is Michael Jordan, LeBron James in the heavyweights of that sport. So you want to know how good you are? Well, people compare you to them. I mean, it's fair, right? So, I mean, it's only natural. Rather, doesn't it make more sense to measure success according to our own ruler? Whether we find what we do meaningful to us, whether it helps our lives improve, and whether we have more happy memories than regrets at the end of our lives. Research tells us that people on their deathbeds have the following regrets: have the courage to live a life true to yourself, not to other expectations. Don't work so hard. Have the courage to express your true feelings. Stay in touch with your friends. Let yourself be happy. So, meaningful life and success by extension have nothing to do with wealth, fame, number of claps of social media. That's an interesting word choice. Number of houses or expensive cars one has. But they have everything to do with working on what makes us happy, with living the way it is. It makes most with living the way it makes most sense to us and surrounding ourselves with people who bring love and warmth to our lives. Now, I mean, we've read enough. I think that kind of makes my point. I've always said that people make us happy, right? So we're most fulfilled when it comes to having kids, having friends, helping others, right? Being altruistic, philanthropic. We are most happy when we could do for other people, right? So a lot of our success is going to come from that, right? So, of course, the wealth and the fame, we've seen it all the time. The richest people, millionaires, they take their lives, unfortunately, because they realize that it wasn't the money, right? It's the people. So, hey, I thought the article touched on a lot of good points. All right. So let's wrap things up with our third piece of evidence. All right. So for my last piece of evidence of why success is more than just financial, we're going to continue the conversation on talking about, well, how do you measure success, right? We've kind of already been talking about, well, it's different. We've heard some quotes from some billionaires that are not even talking about money. They're talking about people and accomplishing goals and things of that nature, which I think most people will agree, right? That success is more than just financial. And that's, of course, the case that we're making. So this article is actually from Forbes. Forbes has some pretty good articles, actually. And it extends beyond just talking about investing in financial. But of course, since we're talking about success, we know that we're going to be talking about finances. But the name of this article is How You Should Really Be Measuring Success. All right. So let's get into it and see what they're talking about. All right. Are you successful? What defines success to you? Is it what people say about you or what you think about yourself? It seems that we are all in pursuit of what success represents to each of us individually. But what does it look like, feel like, and more importantly, when do we know we have it? Does it look like having material variety and choices, or does it feel like unabashedly being able to exert power and influence over others and being respected? Which group do you fall into? Often we define success by whatever we've accomplished, which is true. It gives you a sense of fulfillment to feel that you're above the average person whose quest out in the world pales in comparison. But to really know what success entails, change how you perceive your place in this world and the life you live. I don't doubt that, or disagree with that, I should say. We are too busy molding our success through the decision of what others deem it to be. We evaluate ourselves accordingly, rather than drowning out the noise and assessing our own lives, not through the looking glass of others. What is the difference between being ordinary and extraordinary? The answer lies within you and with the extent to which you allow the outside world to define who you are and what you are. I'm sure this has happened to you. I know I am plagued with this at every turn. You walk into a boardroom before you utter a word or have a seat, the people in the room have already made their mind up about you. So what do? Do you spend the next 2 hours claiming your identity, or do you focus on why you are there and let prejudice and preconceived notions be damned? Take a guess what my answer would be. Now, I understand what he's saying, but there's something called reality, right? Yes, you can believe wholeheartedly that you're the best thing since sliced bread. But at the end of the day, like, you have to compare yourself to something to actually warrant you feeling that way, right? See, a lot of times this is what's happening in our society, that we're feeling a certain way that it, in the grand scheme of things, that it's just not true about ourselves, right? Like I could really feel a way about myself, but it's delusional, right? So I understand what he's saying with this, but at the end of the day, we still got to be realistic when it comes to our level of success, right? So hold on, did I scroll? Let me. Okay, no, I didn't. All right, one. Develop an intimate understanding as to what success represents for you. Try to authentically understand what success means to you, because if you're unsure or uncertain, there's a huge window of opportunity for others to label you as they wish and not as you want. Two, success is measured by state of mind, not by tangibles. I don't know. Let's see what he say about this. Have you handle stress or failure? Major setback can either be interpreted as a loss or as an opportunity to seek something new, starting out rather than ending up. What's your approach? Now, okay. At first, I was gonna be like, well, "What is he talking about?" But I do agree with that. Like for me, like I believe that it's only two things you can hear: yes or no. I don't do maybes. I tell people that all the time. It's either yes or no. So if you can say, maybe, or I don't know, yes or no. I need you to be decisive. All right. So if you tell me no, all right, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop pursuing what I want to. So I do agree with that. It's based on how you approach things. So three, don't let others keep score your victories. The only stress you should impose on yourself is the one that is within you, the one that is used to apply energy to whatever successful outcome you focus on. Lips of others be damned. They're not in your internal makeup and have no clue what the road to your success looks or feel like. The only certainty that there is that there is no end to achieving and attaining success. The road is not a finite one, but a yellow brick road of wonders, questions, people, situations, circumstances, choices, and everything in between. They all represent, or they all present themselves not on our time, but at the right time for things to happen. Now, I do believe that, like, a lot of time we can want things so bad, like it. I would say it took me years to get to this point to establish myself as someone who was comfortable and capable of speaking to you in front of the camera, speaking in front of large groups of people, speaking in front of people on a day-to-day basis. Like, so it took me years to get that confidence and the competence, right? So I definitely agree with that. All right, I think that's it. So they made some great points. Essentially, what they're saying is like it's within you, right? So your success is based on your goals you want to accomplish. They ain't even really mentioned the money factor a lot. So as I've been trying to make the case on is success is not financial, or for the most part, right? We know the finances play a part, but at the end of the day, it resides within you. It's about people. So think about that as you not getting in your feelings. 'Cause I think a lot of people really get down, you know what I'm saying, feeling like they're not as successful as they want to be. And a lot of it is tied to money. So keep plucking at it, accomplish your goals, make do for other people, and I think you'll be fine. All right. Hey, let's get into my closing statement. I do okay for myself financially, right? But I will say that it took me some time to get to that point. Far as me feeling like my finances is not tied to my success, right? And I will say, and I'll be dishonest if I told you that the financial aspect didn't play a part into feeling successful. Of course it does, right? One thing that I'm a realist, so I'm always going to immerse myself in what is actually happening and how we see things. But I also understand that when it comes to success, it's all about what you're pursuing. It's all about what your dreams are, your goals are, what your purpose is. See, and that's really what it's about, right? So, what is your purpose on this earth, right? What do you feel like you will put here to do? Now, we can take it to a religious context, but I don't want to do that because everybody's not religious, right? So, even outside of the religious context, you should have a purpose. There should be a reason why you feel like you're put here. There should be a reason, or I should say, there should be something that you do that you feel like you're good or great at, and that you're at the top of the list when it comes to this profession, this job, etc. Right? You should feel like you're really good or great at something. Okay. That gives you drive, that gives you reason, that gives you purpose, which is going to make you successful. Okay. And as the different articles that I was reading to you, that comes from within. See, you got to be intrinsically motivated. Everything can't be extrinsic. See, that's why I say success is not just financial, because the financial is the extrinsic motivation, right? Most things should motivate you from inside here. That's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to make you feel successful. Okay. You can't listen to the outside noise, right? You're going to have to put that social media down, that phone down. You can't always see, you cannot always look at the TV, the movies, and these outside external sources to get your pleasure, your entertainment, and your happiness from. I'm telling you, it's going to have you feeling a certain way about yourself. And you know I'm true. Whether that's your looks, whether that's your weight, whether that where you should be in life, it all plays a factor, right? So make sure it comes from within. Search within inside yourself, find yourself. That's where you're gonna find your success and your happiness. All right. Hey, I think that's a great place to end today's episode number 17, man. Thank you for rocking with me. As always, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit that like button, subscribe, okay? Please comment, give me some topics, please. Now, I got plenty of them, but I definitely want to hear your feedback. I've seen people been commenting on the videos. Thank you. And thank you for being respectful. And we can have that respectful dialogue, because I know there's plenty of people out there that can articulate themselves and don't have to be disrespectful and aggressive. So I appreciate that, man, from the bottom of my heart. As always, man, you can get the books. You know what I mean? I got the merch right here. This is one of my favorite shirts, by the way. So go check me out. All right. As always, I am you, you are me. Love always, love eternal. The worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And I think we made that case, baby. Deuce.